ready?
Yes, master.
You are?
Who's the master?
Boatswain. Here, master, what cheer? Good, speak to the mariners. Full toot yarly, but we run ourselves aground. Basteur, basteur. Hi, my hearts, cheerly, cheerly, my hearts. Yar, yar. Take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle. Blow till thou burst thy wind, it room enough.
Good boatswain, have care. Where's the master?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labour, keep your cabins, you do assist the storm.
Nay, good. Be patient.
When the sea is hence, what cares these roarers for the name of the king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I more love than myself. You are our counsellor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour. If it is so hap, cheerly, good hearts. Out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doctrinal advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast. Yar, lower, lower, good hit. Try with main course. A plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather of our office. Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give o'er and down? Have you our min to sink?
A pox to your throat, you growling, blasphemous, inchantable dog.
Work you then.
Hang cure, hang, you hoarse and insolent noisemaker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
I warrant him to drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leaky as an unstanched wench.
Lay her a hole. A hole! Set her 2 courses off to the sea again. Lay her off.
All lost to prayers, all lost.
What must our mouths be called?
Let's all sing with the king. Let's take leave of him.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of bound. He bound first anything, the will have above be done, but I would fain die in a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild water in this roar, and lay them, the sky it seems would pour down stinking pits, but the sea, mounting the welkin's cheek, dashes out the fire. Oh, I have suffered. With those that I saw suffer a brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. The poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, to ere it should the good ship have swallowed, and the fraughting souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your pity's heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter. You are ignorant of what thou art. Not knowing whence I am, nor being Prospero, master of this poor cell. Thou no greater father.
You have often begun.
Come, sit. Thou must know, I was trying to remember it.
Yeah.
Come sit, thou must know father.
You've often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me in a bootless inquisition,
Yeah, I was
concluding to stay.
I'm
Not yet.
so sorry.
That's all right. It's the first time when you've not got a book.
Yeah, I was come. Very many bits like the that is. Obey, be attentive. Because thou remember a time before we came unto the cell. Probably thou canst. Thou wert not 3 years old.
Had I not 4 or 5 hundred that once tended to me?
Yes. And more around. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? 12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. My father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we, that we came from them?
My foul play, as thou sayest, will we heave the poor blessedly hold hither. My brother and thy uncle, Cal Antonio, I pray mark thee, as a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I love and put me to manage my state. The king of Naples being an enemy, and to me invertebrate? Is it invertebrate?
Better.
Inveterate. Inveterate hearkens my brother Simon confers fair Milan, which all the honours of my brother whereon a treacherous army levied. One midnight fated of purpose did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and I, the dead darkness, the midst of purpose, hurried thence me and thy crying son.
Your tale, sir, would cure death.
Hear a little further, as I bring thee to present business.
Wherefore did they not, that hound destroyer?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear they not durst so dear, they durst not, so dear the love my people bore me, in few they hurried us aboard a bark, or some leagues to sea where they prepared a rotting carcass of a boat. The very rats as instinctively witted. There they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the wind to use pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine! Some food we had and some fresh water from a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo did give us, and knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library and with volumes I prized above my dukedom. The sister, and here the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have thee thy schoolmaster, had made thee more profit than other princesses can that have more time for vainer out and tutors not so careful.
Heaven, thank you for, and now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind your reason for raising the sea storm.
Thy accident grows strange. But as for fortune now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to the shore. Here, cease no more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dulness, and give it way. I know thou canst choose. Hast thou spirit, before to appoint the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article, I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck. In every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide, and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and the bowsprit, where I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightning, precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight out than it were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. The trident shake.
Not so. I felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all the fire with me. The king's son with hair up staring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped. Cry! Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Are the Ariel safe?
Not a hair perished, on their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresh and full. And, as though easily, in troops I dispersed about the isle. The king's son had landed by himself, his arms in his sad knot.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work.
Is there more toil, since thou dost give me paint? May I remind thee what thou hast promised?
How now, Moody, what dost thou canst demand?
My liberty. Remember, I've done thee worthy service.
Dost thou forget from what torment I did free thee?
I do not, sir.
Thou liest! Malignant thing! Hast thou forgot that vile witch, Sycorax, who with the age and envy was whirling to a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
This blue-eyed hand was hither brought here with child, and here was left by the saints. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, wast then her servant. She did confine thee in a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou. This which remain, oh, where does thou, imprisoned thou didst painfully remain, a dozen years within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun as she did lit it here, a fracant whelp had war not honoured with human shape.
Yes, Caliban, your son.
Doth thing I say so, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans and make wolves howl, and did ever and penetrate the breast of ever angry bears. It was mine art when I arrived and heard thee that made the gate and the pine and let thee out.
Pardon, master. I'll be correspondent's command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. After 2 days, I will set thee free.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine own and mine. Invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and hither come go. Hence, with diligence. Awake, dear heart. Awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave, Caliban! Thou word, speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say! There's other business for thee.
As wickets urge you, my brother. An unwholesome friend drop on ye both. A southwest wind blow on ye and blister ye all o'er.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up.
This island is mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou didst take us from me. When thou first came, thou strokest me, and maddest much to me. Thou givest me water and berries in it, and I loved thee, and showed thee every fertile inch of the island. Curse me that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, for I am the young king first, and here you stymie in this hard rock, whilst you do keep me from the rest of the isle.
Thou most lying slave! I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my child.
Oh, wouldst that been done, thou did prevent me. This island would be full with Caliban's people.
Abhorred slave! Therefore wast thou deservedly confined to this rock, who hast deserved more than a prisoner.
You taught me your language, and my prophet Antist, I know how to curse. The Red Plague rids you for teaching me your language.
Hunt thee hence! Fetch us in fuel and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Shouldst thou malice, if thou neglectst so dost unwillingly what I command, I rack thee with all cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beast shall tremble with thy din.
I know, praise thee! I must obey. His art of such power it will control my damned god Setemos, and make a vassal of him.
So slave, hence.
Come unto these yellow sands.
And then take hands,
Curtsy when you have a kiss.
wild waves whisk,
Put it feetly here and there.
and sweet strikes the bird and bear.
Hark, hark,
The watchdog's bark.
hark, hark, I hear.
Strain and struttling chanticleer,
Cry,
cry,
cockle,
cockle,
diddle,
diddle,
do.
Right, we'll leave it there. I don't think there's a